Alrighty, folks, in today's lecture, I'm going to be breaking down to you guys how to pass funded accounts the easiest in terms of obviously technically, contract sizing wise, all that good stuff. And then, as well as on the flip side, how to be able to pass funded accounts and what the mentality you should have towards funded accounts are. Right? So, funded accounts as a whole, right, is a system in which you could leverage as someone who's broke to obviously become not wealthy, but have a good baseline establishment of capital as a whole, right? So, your thought process with funded accounts should be how do I get paid and how do I get paid easily, right? You don't want to overstress yourself and make everything complicated. And the structure of funded accounts as a whole are to ensure you lose, right? Funded account companies as a whole, right, are basically created, right, in order for you to lose. The way that funded accounts and companies make money is off of your activation fees, and as well as you resetting the funded accounts, and then as well as any other service that funded firm provides, right? The only time you're actually trading real money is when they push you to a live account. And sometimes these funded firms will even claim we're pushing you to a live account, but then they'll B-book you, right? There's A book and B book. B book is all demo and it's not it's simulated capital. Even when you pass your funded account, they're still putting you on a fake simulated account. Even when they push you on a live account, quote unquote, sometimes it's B booked live accounts and it's not A booked live accounts, right? So that being said, the sustainability is very volatile with funded accounts, right? Funded account companies are very sporadic, right? They could go down one day. There's a lot of things that are negative, but that shouldn't worry you because your goal as a trader is to get paid, right, in the most effective and efficient manner, right? So in terms of how to pass funded accounts, right? How do you pass funded accounts with speed, with efficiency, while still being on the side of risk? I've been getting the question a lot. It's like, Salman, what do you feel about full porting funded accounts, right? And my response to that question is, if it is in your financial means to full port a funded account, then you can do it. And even full porting, I don't believe in necessarily, right? I believe in over leveraging if it is a waste of your time to be on eval, right? If you're like someone like me, for example, where you have a good amount of cash, right, and your time is worth money, and you don't want to sit there on a simulated account for a long duration of time, then yes, 100% you should full port accounts. But if you're a college kid or a high school kid and you have $500 or $1,000 in your bank account and you're getting by, you're working minimum wage, a minimum wage job, or you don't have a job, that is the last thing you want to do. So many of you guys pass funded accounts and then blow it immediately simply because of the fact that you full port in order to get onto the Express account or the Past account. And once you've gotten on the Express or Past or funded account as a whole, what ends up happening is all of those negative habits that trailed you, right, on your journey to pass the funded account, you end up replicating all of those bad, same psychological mistakes, strategy mistakes, because you're just trying to look to get paid as soon as and as fast as possible. And in trading as a whole, what I've realized over the 7.5 years of me trading, the easier the money is to make, the less it's sustainable, right? There will be sporadic moments in which I will make a shit ton of fast money, right, through market conditions as a whole, right? But what I recognized is market conditions are not always that fast and sporadic where I can just throw money in and just make a shit ton of money, right? You need to calculate yourself and put yourself in the best possible shoes in order to prepare for those moments, right? So when you have this constant thought process on your mind of, I want to get paid, how do I get paid, how do I make money as fast as physically possible, you end up crashing and burning, right? And you're rushing the process. And what I want you guys to realize is, if you have that mentality and thought process towards funded companies and funded firms as a whole, you're not going to ever see longevity, right? Your goal is to obviously make money in the most efficient manner as possible, right? And funded firms are a beautiful tool that you guys can use to get there. But you should be striving for consistency and longevity. And funded firms, in my opinion, based off my trading strategy and everything, they aren't the best tool, right? Live accounts are so much farther superior, right? So for all of you guys right now, in terms of contract sizing, how I would go about risk, right? How much risk? Well, a lot of people will just say, well, should I just risk 1%? The problem is the 1% on the total account size isn't a true 1%, right? When people say, hey, you should risk 1%, that's on the total drawdown available on the account. So for a live $50,000 account where you actually have $50,000 to trade with, 1% would equal $500, right? But on a 50K funded account, that same 1% risk is not really applicable, right? Simply because of the fact that, okay, right, you have $2,000 of drawdown. And if you have $2,000 of drawdown, that's not a 50K account, that's a $2,000 account. So that being said, you need to factor risk in accordance to that. I would say majority of traders right now, as long as they don't over leverage or over trade, the maximum amount of trades it should take them to take a loss is like maybe, I worded that incorrectly. The maximum amount of trades that you should be on a losing streak for is like 3 to 5. So you want to risk according to that, right? So for example, right, if you have a $2,000 drawdown limit, right, $2,000 of drawdown on a funded firm or funded company on a 50K funded account, that means it would take you roughly, if you're risking $400 per trade, 5 trades to blow the account. You should never really be taking 5 losing trades in a row as long as you are following your trading rules. Where you take 5 losing trades in a row is when you're over leveraged, when you're oversized, and then that causes you to blow the funded account. So that being said, if you know that, right, and you know actually, hey, I can pass a funded account in that amount of trades, why rush, right? What is 5 trading days, right? Let's say you don't trade Mondays and Fridays, and it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, beautiful. If you trade Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 trading days means it's going to take you a week or a week and a half to pass the funded account. Going for a 1-to-1 R, risking $400, right? That's not over leveraged. That's perfect size. This is obviously advice to the people who actually kind of know what they're doing as well. You know, this isn't really advice for people who are just flat out starting in the beginning. If you're flat out starting in the beginning, you want to risk $200 per trade. But if you have a little bit of an advanced thought process about the marketplace and you kind of know everything with funded firms, then I would tell you, yeah, risk $400 to $500 per trade on a 50K funded account. That gives you the access and ability of being able to say, okay, well, I have 5 trades until I blow this account. And if I follow my rules, I know I won't take 5 consecutive losses. Obviously, if you just really suck at trading, you can definitely lose 5 times in a row. But I'm talking about to the people that are just kind of struggling right now, but they have their strategy mapped out. They understand everything about their strategy. And majority of people in that shoes, right, you guys know it's like, hey, I take a loss on Tuesday, and that loss causes me to blow my account. And then if I step away and then come back for the next day, Wednesday, I end up making money. So that being said, if you know that in your brain right now, you can milk these prop firms. You can make so much money. And I want you guys to remove the approach of having the thought process of going into a funded account and just saying, I want to get paid as fast as possible. I want to pass the funded account as fast as possible. Because when you're so rushed, how do you think you're going to trade on the past account? Poor or good? You're going to trade poorly, right? A lot of people will say, hey, Salmon, I pass a bunch of funded accounts, but I fail on the Express account. Why is that? Because you're detached from the funded, the evaluation phase. You don't care about the money on the evaluation phase because you know it has and serves no purpose to you. And that's a beautiful thing, but you need to apply that same thought process in an Express account paired with, obviously, proper risk management, no over leveraging, no over trading, right? And having your head on straight. Why would you want fast money? You don't deserve that. That's the equivalence of you winning the lottery. Would you want to win the lottery, or would you want to actually work for what you earn and say, hey, I actually have a career in this? And you can go out and tell people, hey, I'm a day trader. I know how to make money online because I am consistent with my habits. Or do you want to just be a one-hit wonder who just says, oh yeah, I got one payout last year for $2,000 and I can't even pass a funded account now? And the reason why people get to that stage, I know you guys see it all the time of like, hey, I passed my funded account, I just don't know what to do from here. Hey, I keep passing funded accounts, but I keep blowing the past account. What do I do from here? Well, you need to slow down because you try to rush, and every time you try to sprint, you end up falling on your face. So why not take the approach knowing this of just saying, you know what, I don't really want to rush. I want to slow down the process because I understand it's a marathon and not a sprint. But if you constantly try to sprint, you're going to always fall back on your face, right? And I want you guys to realize it's just like, if you can get out of that thought process of saying, I want it now, I want it fast, I want it. And you can say, you know what? I don't deserve to pass this funded account right now. Or I don't deserve to be on a pass funded account right now because my skills are not aligned with being able to pass it properly. There's so many people on YouTube, there's so many people on TikTok, on Instagram that say, oh, it should only take you 2 trades to pass your funded account. That thought process is applicable if you're either 1, profitable, or 2, unprofitable, but you have a lot of money from something else, right? If your time is actually valuable. And I don't mean to say this in a hurtful or harmful way to you, but you and all of you guys' time is not valuable right now. You are all broke. And it's okay to be broke. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be broke. But what I want you to realize is if you constantly are rushing, I want it now, you are not in the position to say, I want it now. You don't deserve to be in the position to say, I want it now. You're not consistent, you're broke, and your time's not worth anything. If your time is valuable in other realms or aspects, right? Maybe you have a business that makes you 10, 20 grand a month, and time is money for you, then okay, that's a different story, right? Then I would say, yeah, you can over leverage to go past the funded accounts. Like me personally, I trade 2-3 minis on 50Ks to get them passed. I rarely ever do 5 minis. That's just stupid, right? 20 points, your account's blown. And you do max LO over and over again, that ends up being very expensive. So you want to take the approach of just saying, how can I do this without it being stupid, right? And the risk and contract sizing I recommend without it being stupid and doesn't make sense is 7 to 8 micros, right? It's going to take you, if you're risking 8 micros, that's roughly $200 to $400 of risk per trade. And it'll take you 5 to 10 trades to pass the account. What is that? A week to 2 weeks? You can't wait, and you're incapable of waiting 1 to 2 weeks to change the entire career of your life? If that's you right now, you want it now, of course you're failing. That's what these funded firms want from you. They want you to keep paying the activation fee. They want you to keep resetting your account. That's how they make money. So they instill these rules into your mind in order to psychologically mess with you, right? Why do you think Top Step has the minimum 5 days of $200? Because on the 4th day, right when you're about to request the payout, you end up taking a loss and then you rush. Oh, I want to get back to, so I can get that $200 day so I can request the payout. And then that subconsciously messes with your brain to then make you blow your funded account. This is war, my friends. All of these funded firms, they're going to war against you. They're going to psychological warfare with you to try to get you to crack. And continuously treat this like it's like an expense. Like treat it like it's like a bill, like a monthly bill you have to pay. That's how your guys' trading are. Instead of earning money, majority of you guys are in the position where you're literally paying $2 to $5 grand a month to these funded firms. How do you think Apex made $4 million last year? You think they made it off of moving people to live accounts? No. They made it off of you. You are the method. And what you need to change about your thought process is slowing down the thought process in order to actually build longevity in this game, especially with funded firms. Funded firms are a beautiful tool that can make you a shit ton of money really fast. But if you treat them poorly and you treat it like gambling, this is the exact, when I see people full port evals, I literally, the first thing that comes into my mind is the same people that will go on Prize Picks and deposit their last $200 to pay for their life. That's the exact same way. And this is why the perception of day traders as a whole is such a negative connotation, because majority of the demographic of day traders take evals as a joke. And there's a time and place for everything, my friends. I understand you're trying to get to actually having the ability to make money, but your time is not valuable right now. I have to say this to humble you, because if you don't humble yourself now, you're going to go through this constant loop of blowing accounts. And then these funded firms just wipe and rinse like a $5 grand a month retainer off of you. I want you guys to wake up and think about these things. All of these funded firms, every single one of them, literally are making like an average of $1,000 to $5,000 a month off of some of you guys, because you just click the button. It's like you're so dopamine inflated in your brain where these funded firms has become like a video game to you, where you just keep failing the level and keep retrying. And you want to try to your best to not gamify trading. That's also why the real demons of trading, right? I was watching this video of Umar Ashraf yesterday saying like funded firms are complete horseshit. And I agree to him to some extent, because majority of people that utilize funded firms are morons. They're like, oh, I can pass my eval in 2 days. Oh, I'm in a full port, so I can pass it in 2 days. Oh, I need to get $200 for 5 days consistently? Okay, on the 4th day, I'm gonna just over leverage so that way I can get the most amount of money. Bruv, you're not in the shoes to do that. You have $300 to your name right now and you're full porting evals. Why? I need to scream to you guys in your face. Why are you doing that? That is genuinely the most low IQ thing. You need to ask yourself, in trading as a whole, trading is a game of how are you going to get yourself in the best probable chance to make the most amount of money. Is full porting evals the best and the highest probable chance for you to make the most amount of money? The answer is no. And your time isn't worth shit. You have $500, maybe even $1,000, maybe even $2,000 to your name. Bruv, do the math. $1,000, right? If you just trade 150K, some of you guys are doing this with max allo full porting, but if you're trading 150K funded account, right? 150K funded account, it's going to cost you $50 for the evaluation fee, then another $150 for the activation fee. That's a total of $200. That's 2 days of work for you. So you're going into an 8-hour shift for 2 days just to do that. And you're full porting and you're not treating it seriously. 2 days of work. That's 2 days of your life gone and you don't even take it seriously. You're just clicking a button. And you're like, oh, dopamine, 5 minutes. Bruv, you're a gambler. You're a gambler. You're not a trader. And you never will be a trader if that's your thought process. Why not take the time to tell yourself, you know what? I don't want to rush this. I know if I want to build a career off of this, let me lower my contract sizing. Let me not be a dopamine junkie. Let me stop jerking my fucking dick constantly. Let me stop being a dopamine junkie. That's all you are. And I literally will tell people, if that's what you want to do, why not just go? You probably have a higher chance being a professional gambler at a casino or a poker player or a sports bettor. Why don't you get out of day trading? You probably will make more money going on Prize Picks and taking educated guesses. Genuinely. Because you're so rushed, bro. You see everyone achieve greatness on social media. You see X and Y person ripping a $25,000 payout. That makes you mad inside. And you're like, oh, well, now I need to go pass my eval in 2 days. Bruv, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you rushing? Why are you full porting evals? You don't deserve to full port evals. Your time is not worth anything. You have no money. You have $1,000 in your bank account. Max allocation is $1,000 and you're probably full porting. That's your net worth. Let's say you're not even trading max allo. You're trading one funded account. Bruv, that's 20% of your net worth. If you have $1,000 in the bank, $50 evaluation fee, $150 activation fee. If you have $1,000, why on God's green earth are you trading 2, 3, 4, 5 minis on a 50K funded account? No wonder you've never seen it or touched a payout before. You think like, it's skill or it's this. Oh, it's my psychology. No, bruh. You literally trade 5 minis on a 50K funded account. You think it's your psychology? Bruv, you're full porting. Go sports bet. Go download Prize Picks and deposit money at that point. Go play poker professionally. You probably have a higher statistical chance of making money doing it that way. But I'm telling you here now, for all the people who actually want to rinse and milk prop firms for what they are, your ass barely should be trading 1 mini. Even on eval. You don't want this shit to be easy and fast. You want it to take time for you to understand what went right and what went wrong. So that way, once you're on an express account or you're on a pass funded account, you actually understood what allowed you to actually be able to pass your funded account. You take all the steps from there and then you apply it to the past funded. That's it. Right? But what do you learn if you full port? What do you learn? You learn how to full port, and then you full port the express account, and you have no psychology, right? You have terrible psychology, you have terrible discipline, you have terrible everything, because all you know how to do is over leverage and over trade. Those are the things that are holding you down. And I don't care if your thought process is, bro, it's an eval, it doesn't make sense, it's a waste of my time. You are not worth anything right now. And I'm not saying that to be rude or get you guys angry. I'm saying that simply to say it how it is. What is your hourly wage? $15 an hour. That means it's going to take you 2 days to pay for a eval plus activation fee. You wasted 2 days of your human life. What are you doing? Slow it down. Don't make trading an expense like everyone else does. Make it an income source. Everyone on TikTok for trading, trading is like a literal like expense in their life. Oh, I gotta pay for the evals. How am I gonna pay for the evals this week? Oh, I'll go mow someone's lawn, or oh, I'll go work my job at Best Buy, or oh, I'll go do this. What are you doing? That's all solvable by you just slowing down the process. I understand you are trying to get out of the shoes you're in right now. I understand it more than anyone else. I was that guy. I was sitting at Best Buy. I was doing DoorDash. I was doing Instacart. I was doing all these things. Terrible psychology, over leveraging, oversizing, simply because of the fact that I wanted to get out of the shoes of being at Best Buy or get out of the shoes at being at all these places. But what you need to realize is this is a marathon, not a sprint. And if you keep trying to sprint, you're going to keep eating shit and falling on face first. You're going to keep eating shit, falling on your face, and understanding where did all this time go. And then a year is going to pass by, and you're going to sit there and say, why haven't I made no progression in trading? The whole reason on why you haven't is because you kept trying to sprint all along. And if you could just get to the mental frame and mental thought process saying, let me slow this down, let me not over leverage, let me not over trade, because I know what will take me to be a profitable day trader is not that. It is quite frankly the opposite. If your genuine goal is to make consistency and make this an income and not gambling, right? If you actually want this to make an income source that yields you money month after month, jog before you sprint. And the beautiful part is if you speed walk and jog, it becomes a lot easier to sprint. And your progression, it goes like this. And it just fucking shoots up out of nowhere. But if you're constantly off the beginning, just immediately trying to do this is what happens. It's these constant just waves of really, really high highs and extremely low lows. That's what it was for me, and I know that's exactly what it is for you guys. Some of you guys will full port an Express account. Oh, I just got a $2,000 payout. And then you'll go blow 20 evals, and you just lost that entire payout. Instead of doing that, why not go for the $500 payout, $500 payout, $500 payout, $500 payout? And once you get that, it becomes easier to trade. But if you keep just trying and trying and trying to rush, I want it now, I want it now, I want to quit my job now, I want to do this now, I want to do Y, X, Y, Z now. Why? You're a young dude. Young people typically, in the grand scheme of things, don't make money. You're not different than everyone else. And it's okay. It's okay to be like that. And if you just start to slowly jog instead of trying to sprint, you will end up milking these funded firms. Milking them. Making so much money. I've talked to so many people. All of my Discord members I have talked to that are clearing 30, 40, 50K a month. Right now as we speak. Kartik, literally, he's at like a $44,000 a month. He's still trading micros, bruv. He's max allocated with Top Step just on one funded firm, and he's trading micros, and he's made $44,000 this month. And I'll tell you, it literally went from him trading to then him getting one payout with micros to then him getting max allo, and then now he's at a $44,000 a month. But you are trying to touch the $44,000 a month before you even started getting one payout with micros. Slow, medium speed, and then you just start running for your life and you start making 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 grand a month. But you need to slow down the process. And that's it. And then that's exactly how you start milking these firms. Don't make trading an expense, G. Because that's what it was for me and that's what it is for a lot of people. Make it an income source. I love you guys. That's going to be the end of this one. If you enjoyed this one, let me know what your thoughts were in the comment section. If you guys need anything from me, let me know. I love you guys. You guys can DM me anywhere. I'll respond to your messages. Slow down. Slow down. You will be all right. Slow down.